Season 9 live for the evening of Saturday, April 9th, 2022. Bum, 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 bum. Here's a song I wrote, arranged and performed by Sean Hills. I call this one Darmok. It's pretty short. It's a good parody of the Frasier theme. It's still just one of my favorite Star Trek Next Generation episodes. And after that, let's go ahead and play Deep into Under Mountain. And then our intro song, which I call Lay Your Head Down and Dream. Be right back.
Hey, sucker, that's why Jean-Luc's a wallin', lost jawlogs and white timbers. And Shaka, I see, was on his army. Yeah, Shaka when all the walls fall. Ha 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 ha. But I don't know if Jean-Luc gets these lost jawlogs and white timbers. They're falling again. Good night, Elytra. We love you. Dathan has left the planet. One evening as the sun went down and our cooking coals were glowing, down the path came a party hiking. And they said, folks, we're all going. We're yearning for a portal far away in a tavern full of shouting. So join us, friends, and let's descend deep into Under Mountain. Deep into Under Mountain. There run dungeons hot and cold, where the monsters surge and pushes, and the youngest runes are old. Where the mimics all lie waiting, and the goblin werebats roost. All the wisps and wasps and the mezzo-loss, the hidden pit where we'll all plummet deep into Under Mountain. Deep into Under Mountain, all our blades will sing like choirs, as our arrows strike like drum beats, and our green flame pops and pyres. Our barbarian will stomp a brood as the rogues dance shadow play. Oh, we're sworn to go at a great tempo. We'll chant our spells as we now delve deep into Under Mountain. Deep into Under Mountain, you'll always find new gear, and your old mundane accoutrement can be handed down, don't fear. The magic items you'll attune and the artifacts you'll find. There's armor with gems and weird potions and a propeller hat that lets you ascend deep into Under Mountain. Deep into Under Mountain, the mad wizard stood gates so folks can open portals. He left clues to activate. He has a thing for puzzles and he likes to throw his voice. We're going to delve to where he dwells, to the lowest tower, to seek his power deep into Under Mountain. I'll see you there, the lowest lair, deep into Under Mountain. Summer is past, but your days keep growing longer. There's no wind in your sails, but the storm's blowing stronger. Walking hard, standing tall, keeping your head up through it all. Fighting fires, spinning plates. Goodness, how did it get so late? Down and dream. Lay your head down and lay your head down and dream. Lay your head down and just let your mind flow downstream. Sprawled out in a moonbeam. Lay your head down and dream. Joe Hills is filmed before a live streaming audience.
That's us. Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee, and tonight, y'all are my live streaming audience. I don't know what kind of stream this is gonna be. You know, sometimes folks come in here with a raid, and I'm like, y'all, this is gonna be a weird one. You've been warned. But y'all showed up on time when the show actually begins. I'm gonna say, like, I don't know. This might be a weird one. We did a tech check stream yesterday, which seemed promising. And then I did a stream this morning for a build contest, and I was a guest on the incredible Saucefire stream, benefiting Child's Play charity, where I had so much fun playing D&D. We're going to raid Saucefire after the show, because Saucefire has 24 hours of D&D in store for folks. I was in hours 3 through 6, but he is still going. So we're going to send everybody over there after this. I got to say, though, wow. That was a fun game. And I have not been, like... So, I was going to say, I have not been this exhausted in a long time. But, like, that's not true. Because I'm kind of always tired. But I'm usually tired of, like, vacuuming and folding clothes and paying bills. And all the other things that you have to do when you're running a household with a child and you're by yourself. And I almost never am tired of streaming. And I'm not tired of streaming like that, oh, I'm tired of this, I want to do something else. I'm like, I put so much energy into this game earlier. I had such a good time, and I think the audience did too. And so, like, I'm not tired of streaming, but this is one of the first times I've been tired from streaming. In a real way, where, like, I put so much into it. I left it all on the field, as they say. So we're going to have a little bit of a chill stream tonight, just hanging out, getting some builds done here on HermitCraft. I'm a little bit behind on my next HermitCraft episode because the server went down last night, and yeah, so we got to move on getting this shop done. That's later. LG Seidel says, Joe, you were labeled using any pronouns on that stream. Did you discover something about yourself, or are you just comfortable being called by any pronoun? I never liked labels, and I really don't like telling people what to say about me. Everybody's different, and this is something that I personally kind of struggled with. Because people were like, hey, in solidarity with people whose pronouns are very important to them, it would be great if you could tell people what to call you. And I'm like, I don't like telling people what to call me. And it was only my friend Michaela Abel, who I work with on the board of Draw for Charity, I saw Michaela using any, all, and I was like, what's up with that? And it's like, I'm fine with whatever. And I'm like, cool. I am more fine with people doing whatever the heck they want when they talk about me than I am with telling them what to call me. And that's not the case for everybody. Some people feel very strongly about what people should call them. But I feel very strongly that I have enough on my plate. I don't want to go around telling people what to do about me. I'd rather tell them what to do about other things. So, anyway... Thomas says, sorry for missing your morning stream. Take this as my apology. Never need to apologize for missing a stream, Thomas. Thank you so much. That is going to put us 8 away from the next phase camera expansion. Yeah, because we got 27 in the earlier stream. I hope that clarification... Oh, LG Seidel says, thanks for the clarification. You're welcome. Yeah, this is one of those things where, like, after my divorce, I tried doing some, like, exercises to, like, explore my identity. And one of the things I realized was that I already kind of knew a lot about my own identity, and that most of the things that people do to explore their identity are a bad fit for me. That is not a judgment on them. That is not me saying that other people should not do what is best for them. But that is me saying what is best for some people is not best for all people, right? I am just a person who doesn't really like labeling myself. And some people find that liberating. Some people find it very exciting to find new ways to describe themselves. I find it false for me. I feel like trying to apply labels to myself feels wrong, and I'm not gonna do it. So I want to express solidarity with people who care deeply about their own pronouns or taxonomies or things like that, but I don't want to lie either by saying, hey, I care what people call me. And that's kind of just where we are on that. So I just do, like, and this is one of the reasons that Taoism really resonated with me as a philosophy, is because one of the major tenets of Taoism is that words are insufficient to express things, and it's more important to focus on the way things are than what they're called. And that's something that I have believed for a long time. And honestly, if nobody ever bothered me to describe myself, I would have just continued to avoid describing myself. Because why should I tell you what to say about me? That doesn't feel right to me. I want to let everybody else kind of, like, yeah. So that was why that was there on the stream. And, this is not, once again, this is not me making a judgment on anybody else. This is me just trying to say what I need to about myself as needed. Okay, so we need to record a segment here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to turn off the face cam. Hey, NJ. Face camera's off. We're going to hit start recording. We didn't get to do a test recording last night, so we're going to do a test recording now. And here we are. How are we on frame rate? Frame rate's looking good. CPU is looking good. Let's check the GPU over here. Task manager. Performance. GPU is looking good. Staying at a stable temperature. We're still Joe Astley. Yep. There's a reason for that. Okay. Just as I was wondering how I would pay to join the HermitCraft Easter egg hunt, what is this? This is a diamond block. I would love to say that I earned this selling axolotls, because I really want to sell some axolotls this episode. But in fact, my friend XP Crafted dropped by earlier when I was reinstalling Windows on my computer and picked up a couple of name tags that I offered XB in exchange for this full diamond block. So now that we have this full diamond block, we can just rush right on over to iJevin's place and sign up for, falling out of a tree. We can sign, yeah, that's because none of these things are on. We really don't need the gold helmet. That's more of a, Oh, hello, a creeper. Hope you're not busy over here. I can't believe we didn't hear him hiss. Hopefully my mob sounds aren't off, because that'll be a problem for, future Joe. But we're going to head over here to Jevin's Easter egg to trade this block of diamond in for a seat at the table. Whoa. Now, I have maintained my current Rick Astley skin here because apparently when Jevin hired the artist to commission the Easter egg for the event, the artist didn't realize April Fool's was happening, and so Jevin got back an egg with me as Rick Astley. And so I want to be a good sport, and I want to transition from Rick rolling to egg rolling here as part of this contest. So we are going to go ahead and, let's see. So entry fee goes in here. Wait, hold on. Everybody else named their entry fee. Okay, so clearly I need to do that. Let's get this anvil out. Why is the anvil... Oh, there's a second anvil. I was going to say, why isn't the anvil part of this? So we're going to say, at Joe Hills. Going to put that in there. Cleo the Unhideable. X best at this game, the true winner Perlo, the winner Zadaf, and Hypno. Oh, wow. We have to really come up with something good here. We have to come up with something fantastic. So let's think. I mean, obviously, the traditional winner of Easter. No. We're gonna not make that joke. That's gonna be what do you call it? That's gonna end up getting into heresy. We don't want that. I'm never gonna let Jevin down. That's true. Maybe I should say Joe who never lets Jevin down. The Swedish singing sensation, Joe Skills, Joe Excellent, the Joester Bunny, the excellent Joe Hills. There we go. The excellent at Joe Hills. So we're going to go ahead and drop that in the sign up there. And we need to get on our way. We have a whole bunch of dispensers here that we're going to use to dispense axolotls. Oh no, we need to use droppers. I think the dispensers will just dump axolotls out on the people. Maybe that's better. Okay, let's try it both ways. Time skip. Rick Egg Roll, indeed. Thank you, Badger Spanner. So we are on our way back here. Hard-boiled detective. Okay. That's really good, but I kind of want to save that for later. Okay. So, let's see. So we have this. We need to roll back down here. I've got, this is where I'm putting the axolotls we got so far. Anything else we need to take over there, I'm going to go ahead and just dump in here. Stuff we're going to need. Welcome, Eddie. Dispensers will drop axolotls and water. If you double power the dispensers, it'll dispense the axolotl and water and scoop up the water. Yeah, I think maybe we want a dropper. I think maybe Badger explained this to me at length the other day, and then I still built the wrong one. How do you make a dropper? Badger was typing and has stopped typing. Okay. Because, yes, Badger did explain this to me, and I'm very silly and bad at things. Badger says, oh, I thought you were doing a bit. No, I completely forgot you explained this to me incredibly patiently. Badger really walked me through this, and then I just went and I was like, oh yeah, let me take all these bows to make dispensers. Nope. Hey, rotation, welcome. Okay, did I miss any tips during this? We got one from Thomas, which we acknowledged, so we're good. Okay, and anything rolling in via PayPal? Quick reminder, tips are welcome via paypal.me/joehills and YouTube Super Chat. Thomas says, what do you think of the... Oh, I think that's Hawaiian. The Jokeanu? I can't speak Hawaiian, but either way, Thomas, thank you for the 2. That puts us 6 away from the next face camera expansion. I could sell the dispensers if I don't need them. Talking Points TV says, for a second, I was actually expecting the time to skip, and there wasn't a cut. Nope, this is a live stream. Oh, so I guess when I held up the abacus there, it didn't help as much as I thought it was going to. We are 6 away from the next face camera expansion. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/joehills and YouTube Super Chat. Grace Winder says, I always think I know when and when not Joe is doing a bit. And I'm always wrong. Badger Spanner says, I thought you'd chosen chaos, as usual. No, I'm just tired. Because I did that D&D game before. We had a great time playing D&D, benefiting Child's Play on Saucefire's stream. We're going to raid Saucefire after this, because Sauce is running a 24-hour D&D stream. I was hours 3 through 6. Along with Jack Packard from Red Letter Media, Quinn Murphy, who writes game stuff for Paizo, Pope Lady Kate Welsford, who works for Square Enix, and Ryan North, who wrote one of my favorite books ever, How to Invent Everything. So, yeah. D&D, as in Dungeons and Dragons, not TNT. Davis Dabold, thank you for tipping 2. That puts us now 4 away from the next face camera expansion. Nepeta Legion says the D&D was lovely. Thank you. Thank you. It was an incredible lineup. Honestly, the last time I played a game that was that star-studded on stream was like 6 years ago. And maybe 5. I was not ready for it. Like, people told me after, they were like, Joe, that was amazing. That was you did great. But I knew, like, I knew that I had made choices that weren't bold enough because I wasn't confident. And in the intervening time, you know, I've played a lot of tabletop role-playing games with my friends and with people who are really better players than me and better dungeon masters than me, and I've learned a lot. And so when this game rolled around, I was kind of looking forward to it because I'm like, here's my chance to prove to myself that I've really grown as a good team player in D&D, as an entertaining player. And honestly, though, on some level, I was still kind of scared. Tabers Valentine says, you got killed by Chris Perkins. That's a big deal. Yeah, it is. I had a lot of fun playing in that Chris Perkins game 5 or 6 years ago, but still, it was one of those things. Like, I had asked Perkins, like, if some things were kind of too much right before the game started, and he was like, just trust your instincts. And my instincts were that they were too much, and so I didn't do them. And I realized later, like, man, I should have gone all out. And so Nepeta says, the later pun brought me immeasurable joy. Thank you. Jill Jackson says, to be honest, the Waffle Crew were the ones who killed you. I mean, in fairness, they kill all their guests. But my point is, I really felt like that Waffle Crew game was something that, like, I was like, oh, if only I had been bolder. I could have done, you know, like, sometimes you do something and everybody tells you it's great, and you're like, but I could have done better. And this is something where today I came in and I was like, I'm way more experienced now. I'm bringing my A game. I'm playing with people who are incredible, who I admire. Quinn, I've never actually gotten to play in the same party as him, but he's my dungeon master for Pathfinder. He's written for Paizo, the people who make Pathfinder. He's super good at tabletop games. I got to play with Ryan North and Jack. Oh my gosh, I said his name before. He's Harlack on Twitter. His last name, Jack Packard. His last name is so close to his Twitter handle, but not the same. It always screws me up. Jack Packard, whose YouTube videos I've watched for years while I was doing chores around the apartment. And so I was just like, I'm going in, and I'm going to be playing with some people that I know are super good and super funny, and I'm ready this time. I went in believing I was ready, but I was also in the back of my head being like, I hope I'm not overconfident, because that would make me look like a jerk if I screw this up. But I think I actually stuck the landing on it. I think I pulled it off. Honestly, I had a blast. The audience seemed to love it, the folks that were watching. Yeah, Ryan North. Yeah, like the one who does Incredible Squirrel Girl. Ryan North. Yes, that Ryan North. Big deal. Very cool person. I've been reading his comic, Dinosaur Comics, for like, I don't know, since like 2004. Right? That's like 18 years now? I don't know. But like, hey, thank you very much to Brendan for the 5. That's going to put us $1 past our next face camera expansion milestone. So here we go. It's time to expand. Alrighty, so thank you very much. That is now going to put us 19 away from the next face camera expansion. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joe Hills and YouTube Super Chat. So it was a really, really fun game today. And like I said, I don't feel like I left anything on the field. I tried to put all my energy into being present in that game. Not just in the action of talking and being active, but like in making sure that I wasn't talking over people, and making sure that I was really attentive to when was or wasn't a good time to talk, which is kind of hard on Zoom, you know. But I feel like I did a good job. Weezer Watcher says, I just had a full 180 moment. I didn't realize you played as a guest for Perkins until you just mentioned it now. That campaign got me into D&D. Thank you for playing. Yeah, I played as Harshnag the Grim in Dice Camera Action. That's not today's Wordle. I'm so far behind on that because I've been doing, like, computer fixes. What's the shop going to look like? Great question, Amber. It's going to look a little bit like this, which is part of a bucket. It's a work in progress. But in the meantime, I do see that we've got some more uncaptured... what do you call them down here? Axolotls. I should know the names of what I'm selling, right? Gonna capture axolotls, gonna capture axolotls, capture axolotls for my shop. I have not tried Octurtle. That's too many words. I'm not ready for that. Gonna try. Am I gonna try and breed a rare blue one? I don't know. Maybe. Have I got a name for the shop yet? Probably Mixolotl because it's going to be a randomizer. So let's try this dropper thing. So if this works, we should get buttons. Okay. So we should be able to drop these. Whoops, that's fine. Not a problem. Okay. Okay. So that does work. I'm going to sell them at random Tabris. Okay. What's my opinion on the new 119 snapshot? I haven't gotten to mess with it yet. Have fun sewing, Daniel Wiggins. Vrixarololotl. Okay. So, here's what we have in terms of how the shop looks so far, which is not great, I'm going to be honest. I've just been trying to figure out the core concepts to it. And I'm realizing I might need to go get some more sand and some more gravel. Like this light, we've got like light pink here mixed with dark purple almost. Maybe we need to get terracotta for some of this. I feel like terracotta might be the right thing for some of these. And I currently have 0 terracotta. I've got some concrete, but not much else. So we're going to go ahead and let's maybe head for the, where do we get terracotta? Ooh, also let's put these, what do you call them up? Lanterns. So we're just going to take a quick trip here. So the shop is gonna be inside a giant bucket, kind of, Darius, but it's gonna be a weird 2-dimensional perpendicular bucket. Okay, how are we on time? Is the sun setting soon? The sun is setting sooner than I would like, I'll tell you that. Okay, don't love that. I think I'm gonna make another bed. Do I have the stuff to make another bed? Well, okay, some string would be good. Oh no, the server's about to restart too. Dang it, that's inconvenient. At bed. So once the server restarts, then We don't have to worry about so. Last tip we got was via PayPal was from Brendan. That's actually the only tip via PayPal we've gotten this evening. So if you tip via PayPal and I haven't gotten it yet, sometimes PayPal just takes a minute to process. And then on YouTube, the last 2 tips were from David and Thomas. And then Thomas had another one before that. So we've thanked everybody that I've gotten an alert for. Welcome, Cobalt Silver. Okay, so the server's about to reset. We need to turn night into day before we leave. We need to get terracotta for this pixel art bucket thing to work. Welcome back, Cackle. Yeah, hopefully tonight's server restart goes better than last time. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I woke up this morning and there were a bunch of messages from people being like, is the server down? And I'm like, well, apparently. Oh, yeah, I thanked you, Brendan. Okay. So, is it a good time to go flying? Well, the server won't restart for another 4 minutes, so why not? Okay. Welcome, Anti-Gag. Glad you could join us this evening. Just gonna take a quick soar here. Welcome, PK Trainer. Alex D. Perazzo says, what happened last night? I missed the stream. We tried to do some tech checks, and HermitCraft crashed, and so I just played VR mini golf. It was a mini golf stream, which is not great when you're trying to test your HermitCraft recording. But it's still what we got done. Yep, the server is indeed back up now. We have done it! Okay. So even if the server crashes or goes down while we're in the air. No, there was a config change that we tried. That was supposed to go into effect at the next reboot. And it did not go through successfully. So that was rolled back. Sapphire says the mini golf was fun. Okay. We are on our way. Twitch isn't offering the transcoding options. I don't know what I can do about that, you know. Bum 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 bum. And so Joe Hills flies, Joe Hills flies, Joe Hills flies toward the Mesa for some blocks. And so, what's he got? What's he got? What's he got? Wait, is this the efficiency 4 one? No, we want the efficiency 5 one. Yeah, look at that. Let's get those blocks, the ones that are good for fast things. When did I get into bend folds? I don't know, 2001? maybe 2000. He was a big deal around here a long time ago. My friend Kate was really into Ben Folds, and so was her brother. And because Kate played piano, and she also liked that Ben Folds had a song named Kate. When all words fail, she speaks. Her mixtape's a masterpiece. Walks through the garden so the roses can see. Oh, have you got nothing to say? And you can see the daisies in her footsteps. Dandelions, dandelions, butterflies, butterflies. I wanna be Kate. And there goes the server. Down by Rosemary and Cameron, she hands out the Bhagavad Gita. I see her around every couple days. I want to meet her so that I can say, hey, Kate! Astra says trying to pay insecure friends for their art should be an Olympic sport. Trying to convince one that her time is worth money and her talents. I mean, honestly, I don't try to convince people of that. If I go to somebody, I'm like, hey, I want to pay you to make art. And they're like, I don't want to be paid to make art. Then I go ask someone else. You know? What happens more often, though, is if I ask somebody to make art for me, and they're like, here's my price. And I'm like, that's not an okay price. They're like, well, I don't know how to set prices. I'm like, okay. The Graphic Artists Guild has a manual which includes a pricing guide. That's $50 for a hard copy. I'm going to add $50 to whatever you ask for now because you need to go buy that book and understand how graphic artists price things. Because you are currently creating art and selling it, but not valuing your work properly. And that's not something that I want to be a part of. I would rather help people find a healthy way to create a sustainable job for them by paying them more now. Because I want to work with the same artists 20 years from now. I don't want them to be burnt out in 5 months because they've been selling things for $5 a piece. That's miserable. Why should I contribute to that? Ah, we're falling. Okay. Good. I'm glad your friend is giving you a decent price. Yeah, the Graphic Artist Guild Handbook. It's like $50. I bought one of those when I was starting out as a graphic designer, and it helped me set prices. Because the thing is that it helps you set things based on scope, too. Because it's like, hey, you know, if I go to somebody and I'm like, hey, I wanna commission this artwork so I can print it on Pogs, right? And they would say, okay, well, that'll be X amount of dollars. And then I say, well, okay. Or if they're like, well, how about I just make this for you and I give it to you for this? I'm like, is that limited to me printing it on Pogs, or can I use that artwork in other contexts later? Because if you're going to let me use it in other contexts later, you should charge me more. You should negotiate such that if I want to reuse that art in a different context, like selling it on a t-shirt or printing it in a book later, I have to give you more money, right? If this Pog I commission takes off, you need to ask for more money later if I want to reprint it in a different place. And you need to have that built into your contract. Manatee Gag points out Joe's back in Pog form. Apparently the guy who's been printing all the pinball people's Pogs got some huge orders in, and now he's, like, not responding to emails because he's overwhelmed. So I'm waiting to put in my order. I'm like, I'm going to let this guy calm down for a little bit. Because he just had this business where he would print Pogs occasionally for years. And now all of a sudden, everybody who likes pinball is trying to replace their business cards with Pogs and hire him. And he's just like, what is happening? I don't I don't know how to operate at this scale. So I'm going to give him a little bit of time to recalibrate before I reach out about the pogs I want to print. Well, also I need to get back in touch with my artists about some things. But not just regular pogs, business pogs. Yeah, literally, people are trying to replace their business cards with pogs. Salamander says, why pogs? I feel like I missed something. Well, because the thing is that people who do the sorts of jobs like I do don't really consider themselves business people a lot of times. And so the idea, like, they want to be able to hand out something at conventions that, like, says their website and stuff like that, but they feel it feels stuffy to be like, no, Monsieur Limpay, this is not a whimsical example. This is literally a thing that, like, I hired somebody to make artwork for Pogs. Spider Nom says, wait, you're telling me Pogs aren't just bottle cap game thingies? They are, but they're business cards you can play with, as Quiet Devious 1 puts it. People who, like me, have a business, but it's more whimsical or fun or creative business, want something that's less formal or structured than business cards to hand out at conventions, right? And so being able to hand people a Pog with, like, some cool art on one side and my website and Twitter and email on the back, that's a different thing, right? And so a lot of pinball streamers and people who are kind of in the pinball artistic community have decided, like, well, I don't need a business card. I need a promotional Pog. Does that make sense? Astra, I'm glad that you've found something that works for you and your friend. Cheers. Okay, so we have returned. We got some terracotta. People are saying, like, this is just a great idea. I know, right? The pinball community, in my opinion, is 18 to 24 months ahead of Twitch in, like, everything. Like, it doesn't matter to me how many viewers anybody that I watch gets. I watch them if they genuinely want to connect with other people and they're trying to create cool new things. And that is two elements you will find again and again in these pinball streams. I'm not just rating them because I think pinball is cool. I'm rating them because I think pinball streaming is actually the cutting edge of streaming. There are so many technical challenges to streaming pinball. And a lot of pinball streamers do a lot of events in person where they're actually, like, meeting up with people and stuff that other parts of the gaming world don't do. They are one of the most interconnected groups of people in a way that I find really admirable. And so I am really lucky that I have been able to meet so many cool people in the pinball community and learn things that are helping me be better at streaming Minecraft. Because the pinball streamers, they're not chasing the people who made it 10 years ago. They are cutting their own path, right? And that's the sort of thing. Vecta says, well, I find you to be really admirable, Joe. Well, thank you, Vecta. I genuinely appreciate that. But I'm not going to stay good at making things if I'm not looking at where people are pushing the edges. Where are the avant-garde? Tabris Valentine correctly asserts that the mainstream exists in the wake of subcultures. And the pinball gaming subculture, in my opinion, is the bleeding edge. Technologically, community-wise, creatively, there are people there that are doing things that everyone else will be doing in 5 years. And I really feel like there's a lot I can learn from them. I want to be good at things the way they're good at them. Because, you know, there's a saying, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room, right? I agree. Like, a lot of people are saying, Joe, don't compare yourself to people. You're great. I know I'm great. But if I don't surround myself with people who are more talented than me in very specific ways, I'm not going to keep learning and keep growing. And one of the best ways that I feel I can demonstrate that I appreciate y'all's support is by trying to keep getting better. I want to keep getting more creative and more artistic and stretching myself out. And you don't do that if you surround yourself with people doing the same things you're doing. You've got to really stretch out and go find people who are doing things that are bold in ways it never occurred to you to be bold, right? And then you take those lessons and you kind of figure out, okay, what could I learn from this to make what I do better? You know? I got into streaming in the first place because I wanted to connect with people and I wanted to practice art. I started streaming just drawing and talking to people that I met at conventions. Back in 2008, I would just have a few people who met me at conventions and followed me on Twitter pop into my streams for years before I even started on YouTube. I'd just be like, hey, what are you drawing tonight? Oh, hey, you're cool. You're working on a joke. And I'd be like, yeah, here's what I'm doing. And we just chat while I was working and while I was illustrating and stuff. And, because I knew that expressing myself visually was important to me. And I didn't exactly know what shape that would take, but like illustration seemed like a good way to do that. And now I'm doing more sculptural stuff in video games and machinima. But, but I got into streaming because it was a good way to connect with people while being artistic. And you never really want to just say like, I'm good enough at everything. Okay. Grant said, why isn't Joe doing anything about it? Because sorry. Yeah, several people have said somebody is trolling and being concerning. I have banned them now. Sorry about that. I've been trying to focus. Like I said, I spent a lot of energy on that D&D stream earlier, and so I apologize if I'm doing a worse job at moderation tonight. But yeah, I have banned that person on y'all's recommendation. So, but Rosewolf asked, did I have fun with D&D game? I did. I had a positively awesome time. NJ says the Switch is up and running. Oh, cool. NJ, is the capture element working too? Okay. Yeah, sorry, y'all. Sometimes, like, yeah, I do try to keep up with all the chats, but sometimes I'm kind of skimming more than I'm reading. This was one of those times. So apologies to the YouTube chat for letting somebody slip through and causing problems. Okay. Honestly, I'm looking forward. I want to go back and watch the VOD of that D&D game because I feel like I did a much better job than I would have 5 years ago. I was really trying to pay attention to the other players and just kind of figure out when to jump in and when to stand back. And I feel like I still messed up in 2 or 3 places where I could have been a slightly better team player, right? And so I do want to go back and watch that VOD to just kind of figure out how I could improve. But like that's one of those things, like when you're an athlete, you go back and you watch the tapes of your games with a critical eye. It's not like, oh man, that was terrible. Because in my opinion, it was fantastic, but it could have been better. Because I don't do those sorts of streams very often. Amy Lou, I'm glad you enjoyed my chat with Jevin about pinball machines. I was so surprised he included that in his episode, because that was kind of so sometimes when we're like trying to record stuff for episodes, we kind of get into a little bit more excited kind of vocal pattern, more high energy, you know? And that was just us hanging out and talking. And the fact that he found that interesting enough to keep in his episode was kind of it was a compliment that I appreciated. Lily says timing in D&D is so tricky and so wonderful. Yeah, the thing is, I was surrounded by other people who are great at D&D and great at comedy. And this is going to sound kind of silly because, like, I play on HermitCraft, which is full of incredible improvisers and comedic people. But usually in HermitCraft, it's kind of like one-on-one, or maybe we usually only have like 3 or 4 people in a recording at once, right? And so in a 5-person D&D party with a dungeon master, getting the timing down with an active 6 people is something that's a little bit of a stretch of my talent, you know? And so I played with Ryan North from Dinosaur Comics and The Incredible Squirrel Girl for Marvel. I played with Jack Packard. Oh my gosh, I was going to say Harlack because that's his Twitter handle, and I always almost do that, from Red Letter Media, both of whom I've loved their work for like over 10 years. I got to play with Quinn Murphy, who I play Pathfinder with every week. It was a huge comfort to me knowing that Quinn was there to kind of like just, you know, when you go into a something where you're surrounded by people that's super impressive to you, having somebody that you've known for years very much more closely is really reassuring. And so, like, sometimes when I wasn't sure how to handle something, I would wait to see if he jumped in or how he responded. No, Quinn Murphy. And then Kat Welsford was the person I was the least familiar with, but she seems fantastic and has been doing great stuff for the D&D community in London. So if I'm next time in London, I might see if there's a D&D game there I could get involved with, because that would turn a very expensive personal visit to London into an actual justifiable business expense. And who doesn't love a good business expense? Okay. So we can make some blue terracotta maybe for the eyes here, right? These 2 eyes, I feel like the blue terracotta would work well. We need maybe some pink terracotta for these lower parts here. Okay. Yeah, Kat Welsford works for Square Enix. Yeah. Hey, Mr. Hardluck. And then Saucefire ran the game. It was a great game. Okay, so we've been playing about 45 minutes. I think that I need to take a quick hydration break and refill my drink because I've been talking a lot and it's empty. So we're going to pull up that hydration break sign. Then we need to see who we need to thank. I'm not sure if am I logged into the Google sheets.google.com. Let's see if we can read who we need to thank for sponsoring the hydration break. Well, let's see. It looks like Gritmonger requested lines. We haven't played that this stream. So thank you, Gritmonger, for that. We're going to go ahead and cue that up, and I will be back in 4 minutes with more actual, hopefully, building of a farm. Be right back.
Power line to convey a certain brilliance, a telephone line to carry a voice, a metro line to bring us all downtown. Lines of connection, communication, not the borders of boundaries that slice and dice a nation. Divided by the chalk lines of disreputable history, past failures are laid out as we shrug with absent mystery. Those bodies left behind us while we amble on ahead, fearful of the wrong things from newspapers unread. Before I tell you what to do, or you try to tell me, let's Let's all see what's been done and where we could have been. By knowing what's before us, the path might clear ahead, and focus on new obstacles uncharted by the dead. A power line from a gurgling turbine, a telephone line from a quiet room, a metro line from across the city. Maybe we'll all raise our glasses soon. They say across the fence line the grass is always verdurous, but we're not corralling cattle, fearing wranglers about the murders. When we look out past dividers, we're unsurprised to see more folks erecting fences, becoming detainees. Before I worry about you or you worry about me, let's all dwell on ourselves. We're the private enemy, becoming who we're meant to, virtuous and creative. We won't dread the different, the strange or unrelated. A power line to convey certain brilliance, a telephone line to carry a voice, a metro line to bring us home, to bring us home.
Welcome back. I have posted a link to the VOD. In fact, I'm going to post that in the Discord as well. So, this link has a time code that jumps to the beginning of when I was in the stream. Hey, thank you so much, Thomas Osmar, for another $1. That's going to put us now 18 away from the next face camera expansion. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. So thank you very much for that. So there we go. But yeah, if you want to watch that D&D stream later, you can bookmark that. That was a song called Lines that I wrote, performed by my sibling Sean Hills in our first album, Sean Hills Sings Joe Hills, Volume 1. So, okay. Let's see. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm very proud of that song. Like, I feel like as an artist, it's important to do all sorts of things. And, okay. Peridot Hair, tips 5, who says, I barely know anything about tabletop RPGs, but I loved the D&D stream. I saw 3/4 of the VOD, but it's 4 a.m. and I very much need to sleep. Happy stream time to all. Well, thank you so much, Peridot Hair. That is going to put us now 13 away from the next face camera expansion. We can fix the elytra later. The elytra, I'm not using the elytra a ton. Oh, wow. That elytra's really close to breaking, though, isn't it? Bleh. Best way to remove large amounts of water is with a sponge. Rosewolf says, will we see you do more D&D on stream? I would love that. Honestly, the only reason I haven't done much gaming on stream with D&D is because I've been so busy with so many other things. Like, I would consider the more D&D games that I'm playing in and running to be a kind of barometer of how healthy my time management is. And I'm getting better and better at it all the time. Do I ever DM? Yeah, I DM for charity streams sometimes. So yeah. For Draw for Charity last year, I ran Curse of Strahd's Ravenloft in a, what do you call it? In a Minecraft instance, or on a Minecraft server in my model of Ravenloft, and that was really cool. But okay. So blocks we need. We've got the 2 eyes here and here. I feel like the white terracotta is a good substitute for this interior stuff here, but we also maybe need some pink terracotta for some of that other stuff. So let's take some of this out and make some pink dye. And oh boy. Can we make some pink terracotta here? We might need... We might need more sand and gravel. Imagine a HermitCraft D&D one-shot. Honestly, that's been a dream of mine for 5 seasons. I just can't get the scheduling to work. Because I'm like, okay, we need... Everybody's like, yeah, I love the idea. And I'm like, we just need to find 5 hours we can all sit down and record together. And everybody's like, nope. That's why there's no D&D on HermitCraft. It's more like pink wool and pink terracotta. Yeah, we got some pink wool here too, though. But this is why we're kind of... Yeah, so maybe these 3 here are the pink terracotta. I've got magenta stuff in here. Right? Yeah. Why not split into 1-hour sessions in 5 parts? You really need to play D&D in like at least 3-hour segments. Maybe splitting it into 3-hour segments would be safer, but the problem is getting people to find 2 times to record with the same group of hermits. Every hermit schedule is the worst, and I'm no exception. I'm not like complaining about the other hermits like, oh, I can't believe these guys can't get their schedules together, because my schedule is a nightmare. And I have been working very hard with very talented people helping me manage my schedule, but like the sort of work we do and juggling family obligations and other things, and the time zones. Yeah, exactly. So like one of the people in HermitCraft I would most like to play D&D with is Pearlescent Moon, and she lives in Australia. And so it's not just like, oh, my schedule is rough. My schedule is rough on its own. But then you combine that with Pearl's schedule. And like, okay, let's try and get Cleo in here from, like, you know, outside of London. And then also Scar on the West Coast. And it's like, there's a reason a lot of HermitCraft collabs are one-on-one, right? It's easier for us to kind of schedule one-on-one or small group collabs than it is to schedule 20 people or 5 people at once, right? And for D&D, you really want 3 players at least and a DM. Maybe, I think 4 is kind of the magic number. But yeah, oh my gosh. It's hard to get 4 hermits to commit to something 2 weeks in a row. I'm not being dramatic. That's just 100% how it is, right? Okay, so this pink and that pink seem about... Well, no, that pink and that pink are... So we have the wool there. I think we need to go get some concrete. Last Life was very difficult to schedule. Like, y'all only got to see the end result. I got to hear about people who were in it. Like, it's or hear from people who were in it. It was hard to schedule. Let's go get some sand from Doc, I think. We have some gravel, or we can get more. We can dig up gravel on our own. But Doc has some sand. Whoops, don't need the voice chat. Well, and the other thing was with Third Life and Last Life that they explicitly only recruited people who thought they could probably do this certain recording windows, right? So, and even when they thought everybody would be able to record at certain times, it was still a lot of work for them to get those recorded. I am building a big axolotl in a bucket. Thank you for noticing, Art. Okay. Is this the sand one? Nope, this is the slime one. So, people are saying, well, just schedule it at the same time as Last Life. Well, if I schedule it at the same time Last Life does their stuff, then I'm not going to get Pearl and Cleo because they're going to be busy with recording Last Life, okay? Like, that's not a winning strategy like you think. Also, a lot of times when people do commit to something like that, they're like, I need a month or two off from committing to something like that again. Right? They're like, oh, that schedule was really hard for me, and I don't know why I agreed to it. And then they're like, so if I came in and was like, hey, do you want to do something at the same time as Last Life when Last Life doesn't have a season? They'd be like, no, I want to enjoy my time off. Okay, so we need to get some more gravel. There's definitely gravel in here. I've seen it. There's some now. Oh, boy, there's a whole thing down here. Oh, this is where Scar fell the other day, I think. A lot of people are saying my D&D campaign has similar problems. So Chris Perkins, who is one of my favorite dungeon masters I've ever played under, was at PAX, and he was giving a talk about D&D and running a good group. And somebody said, well, what's the single best question you can ask somebody to try and figure out if they're going to be a good fit for your group or not? And without missing a beat, Perkins was like, are you free every Tuesday at 9 p.m.? If somebody can show up, they can learn how to be a good team player. They can learn to get along with everybody. They can learn all the things that they might not know right now. But if they can't commit to being available at the same time every week, you're not going to get there. You're not going to grow as a group. You're not going to get people all on the same page because it's playing and working together that helps you all grow. And not playing is nothing. You got to find people who can play at the same time as you. And for me, for a long time, this was one of the big reasons I wasn't part of a regular group, because helping my ex get through grad school meant that I could never commit to anything because I didn't know when she was going to be home from the lab, and I was always the one responsible for our daughter. So this is not like a unique HermitCraft problem. This is a known thing in D&D. Right? Mr. X says this is where one-shots come into play. Yeah, I love the idea of doing one-shots with the hermits, but like really to do a good one-shot, you really want 4 or 5 hours, and we can't even get 4 or 5 hours. It's a challenge. Where's my bone meal? Oh, there it is. Sorry for yawning. I'm just a little bit. Okay, so we want to make some. Let's make some pink concrete powder here. Let's see how that goes. Butterfly Girl says, when I tried to run D&D, our game fell apart because of scheduling too. The DM was not a great guy, but that was a lesser issue than scheduling. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like there's a lot of reasons a D&D campaign can get derailed, and they're valid, but you can work around them as long as you can play. Okay. So we go from these three, and these three are going to be this kind of terracotta. Interior there is going to be wool, and then above it and on this line is going to be the pink concrete. Yeah, nudging the machine is a normal part of pinball, Indigo Golem. I do pinball streams occasionally. I hope you can catch them. Okay. So we can put that there. And then we need this darker kind of purple here. I was thinking maybe a terracotta with some magenta might work well. Magenta terracotta. Brr. Hold on. Blue concrete, blue wool, white terracotta. Let's try some magenta terracotta. That feels like this block here. Wool, then pink concrete, then magenta terracotta. Feels like this pixel, then this pixel, then this pixel. And then we go back up here. And we put this above that. That feels like we have nailed these 4 pixels now. And then that white, you put the white terracotta above it, which has a little bit of pink to it. That feels good. Tilting is if you nudge too hard. Blockstacker says shaking the machine makes the machine shut down when I do it. Then you're hitting it too hard. Yeah, George Harris nailed that. Lapis blocks are going to be the water, or maybe blue concrete mixed in. There's some texturing here, you know. So I got some blue concrete there. We're trying to figure out the core concept. In the video with Jevin, you said your daughter has been getting more into pinball with age. Has she shown more interest in playing Minecraft with you? Not with me, but she, in the last, month, has gotten into playing Minecraft with her friends. Maybe ask Green how he got Last Life working. That was Pearl and Cleo and Scar all recording at the same time every week. Well, once again, that's the ideal time period, Squirrel. And it was kind of hard on all of them. But they also knew that, Last Life would be, a big deal. Whereas they know that if we play D&D together, it's not going to be a winner on numbers. Alden says, hey, Joe, why have you not applied for Twitch partner? Because they got bought by Amazon. You can Google Amazon. They're a whole thing. Why would I want to be a partner with Amazon? That seems like a nightmare. Also, everybody I follow on Twitter who is a partner with Amazon is like, oh my gosh, Amazon wants us to do this thing, and then they'll mail us beanies. And I'm like, I don't want to get a hat for doing my job. Thomas Osmar says, gotta go, Joe. Gotta get some sleep. Wishing you luck. Thank you very much. That puts us 11 away from the next Face Camera expansion. Tips are welcome, as always, via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Face32 says, Amazon will be the supreme rulers of Earth the way they're going. That makes them my obvious enemy. Why would I want to affiliate or partner with my growing enemy. I mean, look, if y'all made a good case for how you could, like, gut Amazon from the inside by becoming a partner, if you said, Joe, here's an elaborate heist where we destroy Bezos's net worth by you becoming an Amazon partner or a Twitch partner, you might get my attention, but I don't genuinely believe it's possible. I'm going to keep doing my own thing. Wait, are you evading a ban? Don't evade a ban. If you got banned and then you create an account with the same name and go like, I just don't want to be banned. What? No. You don't understand how banning works. I'm the only moderator here. I don't have time for that. It's not like I don't pay my people enough to deal with that. They're not working right now. It's Saturday. They're off having a good time. I'm at work because I want to put on a good show for people. Oh boy. This is one of the reasons I moderate my own streams. Because I don't want my moderators going like, you know, I feel like this person was upset about being banned for being a jerk earlier, but then they came back and, like, professed they were the person who was banned. Don't ban evade in my streams. I can't pay someone enough to have feelings about you being bad at evading bans. If you're gonna evade a ban, go pick a totally new name. Don't pick the same name. Like, what if I was a bad government? Do you want the same bad government who, like, I don't know, maybe killed some of your family members to recognize you a second time and kill more of your family members? No! What are you doing? Learn something! Oh my gosh, I am deeply upset about your incompetence. This is child's... I was going to say child's play, but that's a separate charity. This is like a microcosm where there's very low stakes, but I don't want you to take away the wrong messages. Okay, in this scenario, I'm an uncaring bad government, and I have just banned you, and I'm like maybe going to punish you if you poke your head up again. Don't poke your head up again! Do other things. Kendrasite, thank you for a most generous raid, bringing 26 people in here. I was just talking to this chat about really, really bad ban evaders. Sorry, you came in with a weird energy. Mother of Corgis rolling in with a tip for 25. Thank you, Mother of Corgis. Let's see, that first 11, that gets you a face camera expansion, and then we got 14 more. So let's go ahead and get that on the board there. Here we go. If you've never seen a Joe Hill stream before, when we hit a $20 tipping milestone, the camera expands. So here we go. Expand! Oh no, I forgot to greet Jevin. Okay, I've been kind of AFK because I was just yelling at somebody who was really bad at ban evading. But yeah, thank you, Kendrasite. I am really glad that you could join us and all these wonderful raiders. My name is Joe Hills. I'm broadcasting live from Nashville, Tennessee, here on the HermitCraft server. It's Saturday night, which means most of the hermits are with their beloved families. As a single parent, though, my kid's asleep. So I am just hanging out, working on building a pixel art axolotl here. We've got some different blocks that I think will work for creating kind of the interior of this hand, and then going up the arm there, and then into the chin. So interior, up the arm, into the chin, and then there's the broader face. And we're going to be building this in kind of a weird, intersected thing. And so here we go. Let's see. So we had pink wool, pink concrete, what was this? Magenta terracotta, pink concrete again, and then white terracotta. So we're going to come up here to our actual, like, canvas of what we're building here. Hey, Kendersite, I am so appreciative of you sending folks my way. It has been a really incredible day for me creatively, and I am just happy to be here, hanging out with so many cool people, and having a good time, you know? Like, that's the best part of my streaming, in my opinion, is just palling around at the end of a long day. Hey, Sean Chan, who says, I live in Memphis. We live near each other. Yeah, last time, well, I don't get out to Memphis too often. I did actually get to see Billy Joel's Moving Out performed at the Orpheum there. I was going to say a few years back, but this might have been like 13 years ago now. Oh no, I'm old. But it was really cool. Okay, so in order to get like this chin locked down, so we've got these dark blocks mixed in there. Like so. So the chin needs to go diagonally. Oh boy. Okay, I think I need more blackstone. We might need to go to the nether to get... Oh, I'm out of everything. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a second chest. Maybe 2 second chests. Boop. Okay. Lady DW, I am glad that you're enjoying the show. I'm just doing my own thing, which, as you know, tends to be a wild ride. But yeah, thank you. Okay. No, seriously, y'all, don't elect anyone supreme leader with emergency powers. That's how you get Caesar. Okay? Like... Oh, okay. I'm glad y'all enjoy what I do, but don't put me in charge of things. Okay? The YouTube chat is going off right now. We've got 3 chats going. We've got Twitch, we've got Discord, we've got YouTube. Okay. Joe Hill's supervillain arc when? I mean, honestly, maybe always. Okay. So, we need to go get... We've got 1 blackstone, and we need, like, a lot of blackstone. Oh, wait. This is why we're opening an Axlotl shop in the first place, because we have this pond here where every time we turn around, more Axlotl show up. Yeah, Discord is just for Patreon patrons. It used to be that most of the people who followed me on Patreon chatted via Mixer, and then when Mixer went away, I created a room in our Discord for them to talk about everything going on. Okay. So, yeah, so our shop is going to be a weird double cross-section pixel art thing here. And I'm falling in the water. This is kind of my ideation and brainstorming area on the server. We're going to go to the real shopping district. To get into the Discord on Patreon, it's $5 a month. To get into the Minecraft server, it's $10 a month. And part of that is that I actually pay my moderators. And I recently promoted one of them to community liaison. I'm planning to promote another to Minecraft server operator shortly. We're kind of in talks about that. There's a lot going on. I really feel like it's important when you reach the point where this is what you do for a living to make sure that the people who are working for you are making a living wage. Because if you don't have a business that can afford to pay your workers, you don't really have a business. You have a cult. And as a single parent with a very talented custody attorney, my attorney has made it clear to me that running a cult is not a good way to save money on lawyer fees. So I would rather pay people $20 an hour to moderate and do work for me than I would paying my attorney an extra $5,000 to try to convince a judge that I'm not a cult leader. So, you know. I'm very lucky to have an attorney who's willing to, like, also tell me these things up front so that I can direct those funds appropriately. Because a lot of attorneys would rather just take the money But I went to high school with the guy that's representing me on this stuff. And so he's very earnest and upfront about, hey, this would cost you a lot of money later. You can do it right now and save money, you know. Moderators are $20 at $20 an hour are much cheaper than attorneys later. Exactly. Matthias, I do try to do as much as possible myself to keep costs low. I don't have moderators on every stream, but I do have them on my Patreon, Discord, and I do have them on certain streams where I know for a fact that I can't look at the chat. So, no, I definitely try to... I think it's important that I do every job myself that I plan to hire other people to do for me later so I can know how to be a good supervisor, right? You know, you really need to understand the job in order to hire people to do the job and to supervise people who are doing the job. The thing is, the folks who support me on Patreon are too important to me to pay somebody less than that. Because the last thing I want is somebody I'm paying $7 an hour to just completely go off on somebody who is supporting me for hundreds of dollars a month, right? You know, it's important that I am able to hire people who are more mature and able to understand what they're doing, right? You know, this isn't flipping burgers for randos. This is a position of trust in a community of people who have chosen to trust me, right? You get what you pay for. Exactly, Second Fifth. David MC says, as an attorney, I'm glad to hear someone say something positive about an attorney for once. I am incredibly fortunate that one of my best friends from high school became a family law attorney. So when I got served with those divorce papers, I was literally on the phone with him in less than 5 minutes. I was like, how do I deal with this in a way that makes your job easier? What can I do? And what are the things that people do that make sense at the time that screw them over later? Because I knew there were things that judges would look down on that like would just seem like, oh, well, that's just you trying to be accommodating. And he walked me through everything. Miss Drake says, what I'm hearing is I can make more as a moderator for Joe than I am making as an office monkey. The problem is that my moderators usually work like 10 hours a month, not 160, which in an office you could make 160 hours worth of work. Morning, Corrales. Zell says, everything Joe said tonight makes him 100,000 times smarter than most management. And Primetime TK says, 100% never be the boss who won't do every position if and when needed. Yeah. Yeah. And so, you know, for my moderation team, I hired people where I'm like, these are all people that as the business grows, they can take on leadership roles and supervise other people. You know, yeah, I could have saved some money by hiring people who were less advanced in their own careers or in what they're doing. But you really have to, if you're trying to build something that's going to last, you really want to hire people who are able to step up into leadership roles in a year or two. You know, you Gotta prepare. Hey, Sammy, glad you could join us this evening. I was just talking about delegation and hiring. Sammy was one of the pioneers on our first generation of moderation teams. She had some stuff going on as a writer when the Giants, I believe, were heading to the World Series. And but I definitely appreciate everything Sammy contributed while she was a part of the team. Who's the spammer that I need to get rid of? This guy? Okay. Getting rid of him now. Thank you for the heads up there. Yeah, Jevin did a great job with the bunny map art. Okay. I have banned the person who was spamming in YouTube. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, folks. Okay. So, we have a good idea of how we want to do this. We have more dark colored blocks thanks to that blackstone dig to kind of fill out the other edges of the bucket there. Matthias says, I guess what I'm saying is focus on what you're good at and don't be too prideful or ashamed to pass off moderation or video editing to someone else if they would do a better job. Well, to some degree, I find that what you work on is kind of going to be what you get better at. But if there are tasks that you're ignoring, you're not going to get better at them, and you definitely should hand them off. And I feel like moderation is one of those things where, like, I can't do as good a job as I would like at moderation, and I need to be building toward passing that off more and more to other people. But for editing, I feel like I want to get better at editing. And so that's something, like, I need to find the things like moderation to hand off so that I can focus more on editing. Because editing, especially, like, I know I've been talking about the show Severance a lot in the last, like, 3 days. But, like, this show has been running through my head nonstop. The editing in that show is so creative and so funny. It's really shown me that I could do funnier editing. I want to do funnier editing. And I'm not going to get good at that by paying someone else to edit for me, right? So that's, you know, you got to choose where to put your energy, right? And so putting my energy into editing is going to, I think, make me a funnier person. Sammy, seriously, Severance is a great show. I had no idea what it was, and then I saw it, and I was like, wait, this is objectively the most funny deadpan comedy I have ever seen. But it's also the most deadpan of deadpan comedies I have ever seen. Adam Scott is always good. Ben Stiller directed and produced it. Ben Stiller directed 6 of the episodes himself. And the show is shot completely dramatically and seriously. The camera angles. Smarty Pains is saying, I love B-Dubs' new camera angles. That's the thing, is you can do so much with where a camera is. And like when we record and stream Minecraft, a lot of that, it's all first person, right? But like Severance has really got me thinking about how I could do certain things with replay mod and third person angles in different ways. And it's one of the best acted shows I've seen in years. It's got one of the best aesthetics I've seen in years. And objectively, it had me cackling more often than every other show I have watched in a long time. Like, I would just be watching it and I get so engrossed in how, like, dramatic the actual problems were. And then they would just roll in some sort of really hilarious editing choice. And I would just be, like, almost, like, falling out of my chair laughing. Ted Lasso is also good, NJ. Ted Lasso is, like, it's not a deadpan comedy. Ted Lasso is just a comedy. I love Ted Lasso. I also love Ted Lasso. I have no complaints about Ted Lasso. That's one of my favorite shows. But, like, Severance is a new kind of thing. It's a deadpan comedy operating at a level, like, I haven't seen before. NJ says, how do you get Apple TV without a Mac? I think you can just sign up for it. I think you can watch it on a computer, but I'm not sure. Okay. So we are at the 1.5 hour mark. I think I need to take another hydration break because my drink is almost empty. So why don't we go ahead and see who we can thank here. Let's see. Marissa Rawl requested Lectern Full Cauldron. That is a 3.5 minute song. I will be right back in 3.5 minutes.
I want a girl who will mine for her diamonds. I want a girl who can sort a chest. I want a girl with shears that cut and swords that burn through zombie flesh. I want a girl who knows world generation, who crafts furrows and times her attack. She's modding her community. She's flying through the air. She's smelting out impurities and feeding her cat. I want a girl with a lectern and a full cauldron. I want a girl who logs in early. I want a girl who plays till late. I want a girl with unobstructed creativity who uses a tripwire to ruin your day. With shulker boxes organized and lustrous in a tone that will torch you like desert grass. Who crafts furrows and times her attack. She's smelting out impurities and feeding her cat. I want a girl with a lectern and a full cauldron. Whose shield is emblazoned. I want a girl with good enchantments. On some server we will meet incidentally. We'll start to talk as we shoot skeletons. She wants a spawn with biome convenience. She wants a spawn that's in good repair. She's changing her inn from wither to dragon. She's trading her archery for a trident that's self-repairing. I want a girl with a lectern and a full cauldron.
La 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 la. Welcome back, everyone. We're going to take down that hydration break sign. We have been going for about 1.5 hours on this stream, but wow, we've had a lot of streaming today. I'm going to post a link here if you want to bookmark this for later. Here is the VOD from the D&D game I was in. This was one of the most fun tabletop gaming experiences I've ever had. I got to play with two people that I've admired for a long time and never actually got to speak with in person before. Jack Packard of Red Letter Media and Ryan North, who wrote Dinosaur Comics, Squirrel Girl, and also this other book that I hold up all the time called How to Invent Everything. Yeah, this Ryan North. I got to play D&D with this Ryan North. That's amazing. I was so excited, and I probably would have been terrified if one of my good friends in the tabletop gaming world, Quinn Murphy, who we play Pathfinder together every week on Tuesday. If you're ever like, what's Joe doing on Tuesday when he's not streaming? I'm playing with Quinn. It was so cool to get to play with Quinn as well. Like, so I was gonna say, so 2 people I admire that I've never gotten to play with before, and 1 person I especially admire but get to play with every week, kept me grounded. I had a great time. Jack was killing it, Mr. 10. Good point. But yeah, so if you haven't caught that VOD, okay, so the charity stream is still running. It's a 24-hour stream that's going to run for about another 14 hours. We're going to raid them when this stream ends. Please give Child's Play money. They help hospitals get gaming setups for kids, and like a gaming setup for a hospital isn't just like a Nintendo Switch or an Xbox. It's like a special cart that's designed to be sanitized safely, and like a special monitor that specially trained staff can roll around. Child's Play doesn't just do, hey, here's your Switch, or here's your Xbox, or here's your Switch and the cart, or your Xbox and the cart and the monitor. They also do grants for the training of the IT professionals in the hospital. And it's not fast. I'm going to be honest. The thing about doing certain things is you have to do them slowly to do them correctly and right. The Child's Play money that was raised a year ago is going into hospitals today, thanks to them not only getting these things for the IT people there, but also training the IT people there. And then, like, it's an important thing to get right, because otherwise you could just give a hospital like, oh, here's some games and stuff, and then it just sits in a closet. That doesn't help anybody. They're doing this stuff right. Child's Play is one of my favorite charities, one that I've supported for a long time. I don't think it's good to brag about giving people money. So I don't say like, oh, here's how much I gave or whatever. I'm saying this is something that I personally have been giving money to long before I got involved into fundraising with them. Just so you know that, like, I take them seriously. I appreciate them seriously. I actually got my Plinko board in a Child's Play auction. And so seriously, do some research, check them out if you want. But this D&D game that I played a few hours ago, that's part of a 24-hour D&D game. And so when we raid them after this, feel free to throw money at them. I'm not precious about the money from my community coming in during the segment I was part of. Like, if somebody wants to throw them a few $100s when I'm live, fine. If you want to throw them a few $100s a few hours later, even better. I don't need credit. I don't need any of that. Just get hospitals cool stuff for kids. These families are going through so much. They don't, like, and especially because a lot of these kids, you know, if you're in there with a condition where, like, the best thing you can do is just rest and wait it out, having something to keep you busy while you're resting and waiting it out is huge. That's, like, I know I'm getting very emphatic tonight, and part of that is that I put all of my self-control for today into that D&D game. One of my biggest problems is that I talk over people, and that I'm not always the best listener, and I actually got called out for not being the best listener. Like, Jack was joking about that during the game, but I missed a crucial detail about the name of one of the characters we were trying to help, and he was just like, oh, Handleton, we will have to get you into my class on active listening. And I was just like, I know he's joking, but this wasn't in my notes. I screwed up. Like, so, yeah, I'm all passion right now and no self-restraint or anything, because I put all my self-restraint into trying to be a good listener in this game. And I think I genuinely succeeded in most cases, but there were just a few things where I'm like, next time I'm in a charity game of this profile, I'm going to do even better. I'm going to look at what I did right, I'm going to look at what I did wrong, and I'm going to improve, because you can always get better, you know? That's not like a me beating myself up thing. That's me always wanting to improve thing, you know? So, okay. The Ginny Bean says, this reminds me of when I started working at the local public library. They had consoles because of grants, but didn't know how to hook them up. And I was the youngest employee by a solid 15 years. Yeah, so in that case, you kind of were able to take it on yourself at the public library to hook those things up. But in a hospital, they can't just do that. Yeah, I'm gonna post the VOD for the D&D game again because some people are asking for it now. But yeah, it was such a fun game. It was one of the best sessions I've ever been a part of. Saucefire was an amazing dungeon master for us, and he's going to be DMing for 24 hours straight. He's been going for about 11 hours now, and so that means he has 13 hours left. Nepeta Lejeune says, I have the same problems with talking over people and noted you as a kindred spirit quite quickly. I noticed how well you did with it during the D&D stream today. I will say one thing that made it easier than during a HermitCraft recording is that we were all on face cams with each other, and so I could pay attention to people's faces more. When we're just on voice with prox chat, it's harder, you know? The Ginny Bean says, yeah, if no one knows how to use the tech, it's essentially worthless. Blaze from EBDB says, I love when no self-restraint happens. Pure joy and emotion, Joe, is what is very cool to see. Thank you, Blaze. But I do want to be, like, you know, good at things. Okay, so AbJ says, my problem in contrast is never talking because I'm afraid I might talk over. Yeah, it's a balancing act. Red Tail Snail, I don't really have those. People can talk about me however they like. Is there any special reason why hermits rarely seem to interact with TFC or try to include him? TFC's schedule is really hard. So a lot of us... Well, okay, so for one thing, TFC is kind of retired. So TFC just logs in occasionally to do stuff when he feels like it. Whereas the rest of us kind of have, like, set schedules, right? And so, like, for me, if I'm trying to collab with certain hermits, I can log on at certain times to try to catch them. But with TFC, he's been dealing with a lot of medical issues and things like that. And so, like, when TFC logs on, it's a surprise every time. Whereas a lot of the rest of us, like, every hermit knows that I stream at this time every night. And if they wanted to come interrupt my stream to do a recording, they could come do it, you know? And there are other hermits that are always streaming at certain times in the morning. And, you know, so you can show up and do stuff with them. But, like, with TFC, even if I sent TFC a message saying, like, hey, could we record next week? He might not be on for another 2 weeks. He does, you know, he's at an age where he does things at his own pace. He's retired. He has that right. And I don't want to pressure him to be like, hey, where are you, man? You know? That's not cool. And, you know, honestly, 40, 50 years from now, maybe people will be like, hey, cool young streamer, how come you never do anything with Old Man Joe Hills? Old Man Joe Hills is a great recorder of the YouTube videos and the holograms and all the whatnots, but I don't see you collaborate too much with the Old Man Joe Hills. And they'll be like, man, Old Man Joe Hills is like almost a ghost. He does what he pleases. He's nobody's fool. And you know what? Maybe that means I did a good job at life. If I can reach that point. You see what I'm saying? I know I'm young now, but what I'm saying is when somebody reaches a certain point in their life, they can kind of do what they want, and part of that means that they're harder to work with. You know? But that's also a recognition of them being in a place where they can control their own schedule and live at their own pace, you know? Bizarre future accent, lol, says Rotation. But yeah, you know, so it's kind of one of those weird things. Am I already a ghost in the stream? No. No. We are 27 away from the entrance. No, 26 away from the entrance of the Jost. Honestly, here's the thing, is like when I do a charity event like this, like I did earlier today, and then the tips aren't rolling in now, I'm just going to assume it's because y'all spent all your money on the charity stream, which is the right choice. No complaints. When I do a charity stream, I know that I'm not just committing to helping that charity during that stream. I know that I'm going to take a pay hit, maybe the stream before and the stream after. And that's okay. That is a choice I have made. I've made peace with it. So yeah, the face camera's not huge today, but like, why would it be? You know? It was a charity stream day, and that's fine. When I first started playing Minecraft, there wasn't a nether yet. Okay? So, the Ginny Bean says, she does what she pleases, she's nobody's fool. Put it on my tombstone. Yeah, no, Billy Joel's really good at writing songs. Okay, I think what I need to do is to move that axolotl on the bucket. Whoa, we've got 4 more axolotls just popping up here. This is why we're working on this brainstorming shop here. What's ghost? A ghost is like a super sub or paranatural spirit that like doesn't really follow the same rules as those of us who are, you know, what you might consider a corporeal. They're more corpse than corporeal. Oh no, we put the... Oh, get that one back. No, don't you yip at me. What? How did that even happen? Ascot says, what happens when people tip? When we hit $20 tipping milestones, the camera gets bigger. There's also 8 different bands with the name Ghost. Yeah, Badgers fan mentioned the other day going to the O2 Arena soon to see the band Ghost. But like, didn't say the band Ghost. And I was like, wow, Patrick Swayze's really making a comeback. They're showing Ghost in the O2 Arena. That's a big deal. Like, sometimes we do movies here in, like, places like that, and it's usually for stuff that's, like, more recognizable than Ghost. But, like, no, it was not Patrick Swayze's Ghost. It was the O2 Arena so that they could do a live music show. There's also a musical based on the movie Ghost? Mist Drake, you are blowing my mind right now. Okay. I never said I was good at things. I just do a lot of things. More often than other people. There's a difference, okay? Miss Drake says it has songs in it that are unironically good. That's amazing. Leo B says, how far away is Joe from the next expansion? I am now $4 away from the next expansion. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Beefy says, ghosts are cool. Okay. So, we've got a basic framework for this bucket. I think what we actually want to do, though... we need to... Let's get some more sticks. And another item frame. And... there we go. Riven Rhyme tips 5, who says, and now we're there. Whoa. Whoa. Expanjo. You know that? Oh, wait, where did it go? I think we broke OBS again. I don't know where the camera went. That's not sarcasm. Okay, how do I center this on the canvas? Okay, that's not right either. Okay, we broke OBS, everybody. Good job. Good job, everyone. Oh boy. Thank you so much, Riven Rhyme. We found the camera at least. It's like this camera is like broke. Okay, and then I think we got a PayPal tip rolling in from Shifty Pumpkin. Thank you, Shifty Pumpkin, for the 30, who says, "Enter the ghost." Do. That is going to put us 11 past our next face camera expansion milestone. Now, y'all have seen those tips go straight to my head. But like Jacob Marley, these chains I forged in life are about to begin pulling me down to the deep below. Enter the ghost. Where's the thing? Bum 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 bum. Bringing us now to 90% Joe pasty, and 9 away from the next face camera expansion. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. How is the trident off the hotbar? Okay, we fixed it. Meanwhile, Ascot G96 says, don't know what the charity stream was for, but I know it was for a good cause. Here's something to say. Thanks for doing that. And then tips 50. Thank you, Ascot G96. 9 is going to get you 1 face camera expansion, 29 a second, 49 a third, and then we are 1 past it. Wait. I think that, no, I mean, we're 9 away from the next expansion. Whatever. Either way, that, okay, yeah, so that's 2 face camera expansions immediately. So here we go. Expand. Lowering the Joe opacity now to 80%. Oh, wow. This new version of OBS does not like doing this. And then grow hills. And we're going to lower the Joe opacity now to 70%. That puts us once again 9 away from the next expansion. But PayPal says we have more money coming in from Jamie. Thank you, Jamie, who says, Joe, I take it the PC rebuild went okay. Sorry I missed the charity stream. Was working myself. We're going to raid the charity stream after this. But either way, thank you very much for the 25. That gets us 6 past our next face camera expansion milestone. So here we go. It's time to grow hills. Wait, is that right? No, that gets us... Yeah, 6 past. Okay. We're now in the most obnoxious face camera expansion milestone, the Tony Stark helmet cam. So tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. We are now 14 away from the next expansion. Everybody who tipped up to this point has been making the camera more obnoxious. So if you want to make it less obnoxious, it can't really get any bigger. We're already covering the whole screen. But it can get more transparent. So feel free to jump in. Okay. Whew. Okay. Jake says, wow, I was praying you wouldn't have the bigger face cam. That just gets in the way. Well, the way it works is that basically it resets every day at 6 a.m. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania time, because in this house we follow Groundhog Day rules. And Spider Nom says, not gonna lie, I like the Iron Man cam most. Thank you. I appreciate your excellent taste. Why did we come up here? Oh, it was because we wanted to get more leather to make another leather thing. Okay. DJ Frogtime says, Tony Stark helmet cam was the best before, or was my favorite before, but I like it even more now that you have a better camera. Thank you. I'm glad the better camera is paying off, because it was not a cheap camera. This is a 4K webcam. So we're going to make the most of it. Okay. Portel says, that's trippy. Thank you. I am a weird performance artist. Thank you for appreciating my weird performance art. Okay, so we're going to put this here. And we're going to put an axolotl there. Centauratron says, I might be biased because I grew up with the MCU, but I also really like the Tony Stark helmet cam. Thank you. Blaze says Joe's pores are amazing. They're really not. They're a nightmare. There's a reason I cover them with the wig every chance I get, but thank you, Blaze. I'm glad. Badger Spanish says there's a big cinema at the O2 as well. Well, I didn't know you were still going to be awake. Awesome. Well, howdy, Badger Spanner. Okay, so we've got kind of this whole thing here. Do I like tacos? Tacos are delicious, yeah. Fake Zircon says, what's the point of a ridiculous camera high-resness if you're not zooming into a ridiculous degree? Exactly. Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm not perfect. Like, you can see, like, I'm not wearing makeup. The thing is, you don't have to have perfect skin to go out in the world and do good stuff. Like, you know, honestly, television's like, well, everybody who's successful has perfect skin. It's like, screw everybody that is successful. Like, just go live your best life, you know? Okay, so in order to make the water actually go... Okay, so this one... We need to have... So we've got that... So we need one more black stone across there. Everyone's different. Connor says, Joe, are any of the Hermits LGBT+? Publicly so, I'm pretty sure Jem and Cleo, but, like, that's not really my place to say about people. That's really something you should ask other people, not me. Okay. So we need now to have this come across with the pink... concrete, like so. Hey, let's see. It looks like there's a new tip rolling in via PayPal from Bo. Thank you, Bo, for the 2, who says, loving the new camera. There's not an axolotl emoji, so here's my approximation with what I got. And it's a worm, a lizard, and a frog. Thank you, Bo. That puts us 12 away from the next phase camera expansion. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Okay. Allied Alex says, I doubt anyone has perfect skin. I mean, statistically, there's, like, billions of people. Somebody probably has perfect skin, but that's not my problem. Statistically, that's someone else's problem. I feel like that's one of the things that makes me so successful, is that I can just accept that other things are not my problem. I'm going to live my best life, and I'm not going to worry about the things that are distraction from that. Okay, so when we come up here, we see that on this hand, on top of that, there's a dark block. And then above that is a blue block. And we have blue blocks like this. And then we also see that that's when these go across here. Whoops. And then next to that blue block is 3 blue blocks going down. 1, 2, 3. Then another block up top of that. Who's defining perfect skin? I mean, not me. Okay, so then 3 and then 2. So that looks right there. DJ Frogtime says, my skin is perfect because it holds all my blood in. Oh man, that sounds great. Hope that works out well for you. Meanwhile, we got a tip over here from somebody else. It's from Celestial Moss, who says, T. Joe Ecclesburg is my favorite face cam size. Let's see it. Tip in 20. Well, whoosh. Boom, we're getting 12 right there, and then we're getting another 8. Bringing us to the T. Joe Ecclesburg size. Here we go. It's time to expand. Just do do do. Is the camera auto-focusing? It's not supposed to do that. We're going to lower the opacity to 50%, and then we're going to go into the camera modifications. Because I think the camera is misbehaving. This camera has been causing me problems all day. I was going to use it for the other stream, and it like messed up. So let's go into properties here. Configure video, camera control, focus. Focus should not be on auto. Okay. Exposure should not be on auto. Okay. I think we fixed the camera. Okay. But now it seems like it's less responsive. Not sure what to think about that. It seems like it's slower. How is it that when I set manual focus and manual exposure, it's slower than if I set... That's strange, right? Have a good night, Badger. Sleep well. Filters. Is it laggier all of a sudden? Yeah, I don't know. It feels laggier. The exposure is making it less responsive. Good note, Dustin. Okay, hold on. Properties. Configure video. Let's go back into exposure here. And then, so we'll turn the brightness or the gamma up. That feels like it's still like the right speed now. I think you nailed it. Wait. Ooh. Wait. Wafzilla, send me this via Discord. Did I see my thing on the Billy Mitchell expose? Is it my YouTube short where Billy Mitchell beat Pac-Man? Okay, hold on. First off, we're going to thank Dustin for fixing the exposure issue. You are absolutely right, Dustin. But wait, Art. Wait. Art, Wafzilla, send me this. Send me this now. This was already... Okay, I got to play D&D with Ryan North, who makes dinosaur comics today, and Jack from Red Letter Media, who makes like the Mr. Plinkett videos. And now you're telling me on top of everything else, my footage proved that Billy Mitchell was cheating? My footage from when he came to Nashville? Send me this link via Discord right now. I want to end the stream, but we're not going to do that. We're going to do... Oh my gosh, what a day, indeed. Seriously. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. I gotta... Oh, but I can't listen to this without it ruining the audio here. Hold on. So I gotta temporarily mute Discord. Wait. It starts shortly after here. I don't think... So, okay, YouTube is muted, so we're gonna unmute site. Wait, that's my footage.
At the event, and by God, he managed to do it.
Oh my gosh, they credit me. I'm in this. Okay, hold on. I'm going to post this link. I'm gonna post this link to the chats so that y'all. Okay, hold on.
Furthermore, he finally publicly admitted that Billy Mitchell did in fact use MAME. Obviously, this is nothing new, but this is devastating for Billy's lawsuit. One of his star witnesses, the best Donkey Kong player in the world, the player that Billy himself was touting as an authority, has now publicly stated that emulation was used to create those records. Things really can't get much worse from here. Billy already had 0% chance of winning, but somehow he has managed to lower those odds just a little bit more. And the bad news doesn't end there. Back in October of last year, Billy Mitchell appeared at Music City Multicon. At this event, he did one of the dumbest things he could have done. His goal was to get a perfect game of Pac-Man at the event, and by God, he managed to do it.
That's me!
And that is a perfect game, he proclaimed. The madman actually did it. Except
Okay. 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 Okay, what's happening, says somebody. Okay, so apparently my footage of Billy Mitchell beating Pac-Man at Music City Multicon was used to prove that he cheated. I'm gonna have a hard time topping today. Wafzilla says, or at least he lied and he said he had a perfect game, but he didn't. Okay. Yeah, no, that... Still... Okay. Thank you for sending that my way. Woo! Imaginary Theta Sigma says JoeHills.exe has stopped functioning. I mean, honestly... Wafzilla says, it's funny, I didn't know why YouTube recommended this video to me, but I watched it. Yeah, oh boy. I am having one heck of the day. And Wafzilla says, when they mentioned Music City Multicon, I thought maybe we'll see us. Yeah, because we were there. And instead of us being in the background of somebody else's shot, they're using my footage. They're using my footage. I don't even know. I don't even know what we're doing anymore. We're just... Okay. Let's... Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Okay. So we've got that bucket going that way. Whew. My brain is done. Like, I really need to work on this build tonight, but like... I'm just like... You know what? Why don't we send people over to Saucefire? Because, you know, Sauce is still doing that 24-hour charity event that I was a part of earlier for a good long while. Why is that not showing up in here? Twitch.tv/Saucefire. My brain is broken. Mathematical Jackal. Oh, well, I don't want to raid Sauce during a break. Oh, they're about to switch teams in 20 minutes. Okay. Well, that's a... Never mind. We're going to keep going for 20 more minutes. Mathematical Jackal, though, tips 20. and says, "Cheers to a good day." Oh my gosh. Right? Right? Best day. Best day. Here we go. Expand Jost. Do. Lower in the Joe Pasty now. Oh boy. To 42%. Lower the Joe Pasty so the audience can't see your tears. Although I think I'm tearing up in this eye. From this Billy Mitchell thing. No, wait, that's the one you can see. Uh-oh. Wobzilla says tip money to Joe to fund these investigations. Oh, this wasn't intended to be an investigation. This was just me like, oh, hey, Billy Mitchell's setting a record. I should film that. Did they need permission to use that footage? They didn't ask permission, but... you know, I'm not going to be a jerk about it. Honestly, fair use is kind of a whole thing. You know, so... My brain is not working anymore, though. Oh, boy. Okay, so what does light gray terracotta look like? Because we need to actually figure that out. We need gray terracotta and we need light gray terracotta. We might be out of bone meal down here. Okay. Professional ghost Joe Hills. Support accidental guerrilla journalism. Support Joe Hills. Thank you, Wafzilla. I do my best. They gave credit, so it seems like fair use. Yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining. So we want to make light gray concrete here if we can. Oh boy. Wait, hold on. I don't want to destroy the concrete I've already got, though. Oh, but that means I need to, or light gray terracotta. So, to make light gray terracotta, we need that. Cyan terracotta, you need... You're part of Pac-Man history. I know, right? Oh, that's a whole thing. That's a whole thing that I'm unprepared for today. 15, 18, it shows up again. Oh, really? They go back to my... Hold on. They go back to my thing at 15, 18? Wow. Okay. Thank you for the acceptance of embarrassment, stupid shadow. I don't know. Follow me whenever. Oh man. Preston, to get crits with an axe, you gotta jump when you hit. Man, my whole day has just been nuts. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. I feel like the terracotta, light gray terracotta, is a bad fit for this. We might need light gray concrete. Now, luckily, we got more sand. How are we on gravel? We need to get more gravel. Whew. What a day. What a day. Wafzilla, thank you for bringing that to my attention. Huh. That's the silliest thing ever. I can't comprehend this. My brain is going to take a while to catch up. Hey, Bernineberry. Yep, I am the largest Joe Hills or Grow Hills you've seen. But we are only 12 away from the next face camera expansion. If anybody would like to tip, tips are welcome. Oh, that's the wrong link. That's the YouTube link to me proving Billy Mitchell's a liar by accident. Let's get the right thing. Okay, there's the right thing. Hey, whoa, we actually got some tips rolling in via PayPal. Let's acknowledge those. Aaron Tips 5, who says, in the comments of your latest video, have you seen any notable poems as a result of your poetry prompt? Let's do the expansion and then let's talk about that, because that's actually a whole really interesting thing that I want to give some time to. So here we go. Expand Joe. Do 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 do. We're gonna lower the Joe opacity now to 32%. So Aaron, I do try to read every comment, but I don't want to make people feel nervous about sharing their writing by calling individuals out, because then that might make people feel like they would get called out in the future. I feel like part of the benefit of the poetry prompt is that I'm creating a space for people to be experimental, and I don't want to upset that by calling attention to individuals. I really enjoy reading those comments, but I don't want to go into detail about any particular poems, because I don't want. Sometimes it's easier to be creative if it feels like you're screaming into the void, right? You know? So I'm trying to create a convenient, boundless void. And encourage people. I'm realizing, and this is something like I objectively understood for a while, but I didn't understand how much of a problem it is. One of my biggest failures is that I am bad at encouraging people in a productive manner. I try to be an encouraging person, and I succeed, I think, like 40 to 55% of the time, but I've really had an opportunity to reflect on this the last few weeks, and especially after seeing the James Lawson Institute launch in person the other night, and seeing how Reverend Lawson not only inspired people but encouraged people. I need to completely revisit everything about how I try to encourage folks, and that's not going to be something I have time for today to do right, because I'm doing it so wrong. I need more time to really think it through properly. But I feel like the poetry prompts are an example of something where I'm just trying to encourage people, and I think that those are actually in some ways one of my most successful encouragement attempts. But like, I'm a failure at certain things that I want to be a success at. And this is not something I'm saying for pity or because I want y'all to feel bad for me or whatever. It's because in order for me to grow, I need to acknowledge that in order to improve. And one of those things is encouraging people to take control creatively of things. And unfortunately, it seems like this usually comes up when somebody's like, I don't like what you're doing. And then I try to be like, awesome, I want to encourage you to make your own thing. And then they're like, what? You don't want to hang out? You're telling me to go somewhere else. I'm like, no, I want to encourage you to make your own thing. Like, I should be running like workshops. I should be teaching actively. I should be getting ahead of this. Like, so instead of like this coming up when people are like, I don't like how you're running your Patreon Minecraft servers. And then I'm like, well, I encourage you to run your own. Then they're like, what? You don't want me part of this community? That's negative. That's wrong. What I should be doing is scheduling like every 3 months I've got a seminar on how to run your own Minecraft server or how to run your own community. Like, and this is this is a huge failure of communication on my part. But it's worth doing right, even if it takes longer to figure out how to do it right, you know? Because one of the things that's really created a disconnect for me here is a lot of the people that I most admire have always encouraged people like me to go do their own thing. And I thought if I wanted to be a good and admirable creator and leader, I should encourage people to do their own thing. But I haven't been doing the harder work of preparing them to jump on that, to lead those endeavors. I haven't been training them. I've just been saying, I believe in you, you can do it. And that wasn't a lie. I did believe in them. I did think they could do it, but I wasn't saying, if you need any tools, let me provide them to you. And that's a failure. That's a legitimate failure on my part. I am not doing the things I want to do well as I could. And that's one of the reasons I've started paying more attention to my website, because I think I need to write more tutorials and kind of helpful documentation of how I do things and providing guidance to people about how they could do things. You know? Sorry, I kind of got distracted here, but like I really do acknowledge that I could do better at things that are important to me. And you know, honestly, if you're 35 years old and you're already doing everything perfectly, what are you going to do with the rest of your life? You know? Like, I'm glad there's room for improvement for me, because that would be a nightmare otherwise. But somebody's asking, what's with the face camera? The camera gets bigger every time we hit a tipping milestone. We are currently, let's see, 17 US Abacus beads away from the next face camera expansion. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joe Hills and YouTube Super Chat. NJ says, you try and that helps. It helps that I try, but the goal of trying is to be good at it. You should never be complacent with saying, well, I tried. You know? And maybe this is something that there's kind of a sliding scale as you get older. When you're 15, the fact that you tried means a lot more than when you're 35 and you tried, right? I'm 20 years older. I should be 20 years wiser, and I need to be making sure that my trying is translating into impact, right? I want to do a good job, but it's not enough that I want to do a good job. I need to learn from people who will help me to do a good job. And this week, I really had a great opportunity to learn from people who did things a lot harder than what I do. Hey, Mulseef Live Raiders, welcome! We are playing Minecraft tonight on the HermitCraft server. Jevin, Corrales, and I are all online. We're currently kind of building some pixel art of an axolotl, but we're also talking about, like, what is success and what is failure when you're 35 years old. Because honestly, you can mean well and not do good. And meaning well and not doing good is different at 15 than at 35. I need to be at a point where I'm working toward doing good aggressively and quickly. And if I'm failing at doing good when I'm meaning well, I need to surround myself with people who will tell me, Joe, you're screwing up, right? I don't need to feel better about myself. I need to do better for everyone around me, right? This is where I'm at. I'm too old to be reassured. What I need is people who will challenge me to actually succeed at things I'm trying toward, you know? So that's what we're talking about now. Yep, yeah, the face camera does get bigger every time we hit a $20 tipping milestone, and we are currently 17 away from the next one. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joe Hills and YouTube Super Chat. Hey, I see we got a new Patreon patron. Welcome, Mel. Just so you know, I got to manually send those Patreon invites out the next business day because I can't do that during the stream. Treebird Games says, are you speaking in terms of work and career or just general doing well in life? I mean, for me, at this point, now that I'm self-employed, my work and career is kind of doing well in life. You know, when you're working for someone else, you got to judge yourself by their standards. But now that I'm judging myself by my standards, I got to figure out what's important to me and how do I set a good example at achieving the goals I set, right? You know, and so that's just where I am now. And you know, I'm talking about a lot of like problems without like a lot of solutions, but realistically, these are the things that are enduring struggles. If you're an adult and you're working hard to make things better for the people around you, you're going to run into stuff like this. And it's okay if you don't have all the answers. So we've got this axolotl here. And it looks like we might have another PayPal tip rolling in from Jared, who says, you want someone to challenge you, Joe? I challenge you to increase the Joe Passy and tips me 17. Well, sadly, Jared, the Joe Passy only increases when we actually hit the Beetlejuice milestone, which we are nowhere near. But that 17 does get us one more expansion. So here we go. Expand. Just do. Lowering the Joe Passy now to 24%. Man, this new version of OBS is its own whole thing. Nora says, this is the first time I've ever clicked a Joe Hills video stream. This is a good first impression. Nora, I'm going to say, like, this is a weird one. Everything, I just turned off the ring light because, like, once we get too big, like, the reflection of it gets too big. Mr. Suparman says, what are your pronouns? I don't really have those. I don't feel like I have any interest in telling people what to say about me. Some people feel very strongly about that, and I don't. So, you know, for the people who care about that, that's fine. But for me, it's not a thing. You know, and I was talking to my sibling Sean about this earlier, and I was like, this is one of those things where it's like, for some people, they feel very strongly about what people call them. And like, if they're called the wrong thing, that's a problem. But for me, one of the reasons that Taoism really resonated with me a lot as a philosophy is that Taoism is all about the insufficiency of labels or words to describe actuality. And I feel like proscribing labels feels wrong to me in a very visceral way. Telling people what to say about me feels wrong to me. And so I was inspired by my compatriot on the board of Draw for Charity, Michaela Abel, to just say, like, you know what? My pronouns are any. Dealer's choice. You know? And, like, for some people, this is just about gender, but for me, it's just about telling people what to say or not to say about me. Like, and people are like, Joe, do you consider yourself a Star Trek fan or a Star Wars fan? I'm like, well, I've read 30 of the books and seen all the movies, but not really, because that's not like a label I would apply to myself. I just constantly find myself saying that's not a label I would apply to myself. I feel like people should just be able to determine their own level of involvement with labels. And for me, that's a very low level of involvement. But I also know that if I don't have anything when people say, hey, can we put your pronouns in this thing, then that feels like I'm not supportive of the people for whom it is very important. And, you know, I know for my friends and for in the case of Sean, my sibling, like, that can be very deeply important, right? And so I want to demonstrate solidarity without misrepresenting what my priorities are. Because if I'm trying to represent solidarity while misrepresenting myself, that feels like a lie. That doesn't seem okay. So, you know. And that's something to more fully explore maybe another day. But for me right now, I don't want to be judged for what I say about how I want people to talk about me. I want to be judged for what I accomplish or what I fail to accomplish. I want to be judged for what I do or what I fail to do. That's who I am. And not everybody feels that way. Different people have different feelings about a lot of things. But, you know, if you're asking me how I feel or what I feel, there's a little bit of that, you know? So, this pixel art axolotl. I feel like we're not making great progress. We were gonna raid Saucefire about 20 minutes ago, but Sauce was on break, and that was not cool. You don't want to raid a charity stream when they're on break. Let me check if Sauce is back yet. Sauce is not back. Okay. I am still kind of past my prime for the day. I put so much effort into being part of Sauce's stream earlier. I'm going to post a link to the VOD from when I played in Sauce's Child Play stream earlier with Ryan North and Jack Packard, two of my heroes in making cool things, as well as Quinn Murphy, one of my heroes in tabletop role-playing game design. And I didn't know Kat Welsford, who we also played with, but Kat is an incredibly talented and creative person who I was lucky to get to meet. No, this is just the brainstorming area, Lunith. I am brainstorming how to make like an axolotl bucket here in pixel art. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, one of the things that constantly gets weird is, like, every time I go to the grocery store, there's, like, a 50-50 chance that somebody at the grocery store calls me ma'am because I'm there alone with a child. And you might think, well, Joe, you've got a big beard. Like, people would go, okay, you're just some dude. But, like, people constantly call me ma'am, even without the mask. Before COVID started, I had the beard. And people would just call me ma'am. And I was like, that's fine. I don't know. Like, whatever. Because they see the kid and they see somebody with, like, my hair wasn't even this long then. It was like a bob. And they were just like, oh, a person is at a grocery store with a child. They must be a woman. And I'm like, look, just because you have weird societal expectations of who goes grocery shopping with their kids, like, I'm not going to be offended if you call me ma'am. I don't know. But, like, oh, hey, Sauce is back. Rex is playing. Oh, my gosh. Rex is on camera. Oh, my gosh. Y'all, I have never seen Rex Verdi on camera before. I have talked with Rex so many times. I played so many times with Rex. Jeff just got killed by a creeper. I had no idea what Rex looked like. Rex is on camera right now. And Tyrannosaurus is also playing, who is amazing. Gray is dungeon mastering. We're going to raid Saucefire. But, like, okay, good. Jevon's not dead. But, dude, I am very excited, Yo-Yo, because NJ says, I know what he looks like, but you didn't. How would you know what Rex looks like? Rex never turns on his camera. But anyway, I want to go ahead and I want to raid Saucefire. I had the most incredible D&D experience I have ever had earlier. Playing in Saucefire's game a few hours ago. Sauce is running a 24-hour D&D stream. And I really hope that you go over there. Like I said, I am not precious about people donating to charity during my segment of this 24-hour stream. I want to see this stream be super successful the entire day, right? Like, I don't care if you were like, oh no, Joe, I missed supporting this charity during your part of the stream. No, give them money now. Rex is one of the most incredible people. Sauce is one of the most incredible people. Like I said, Tyrannosaurus is playing now. All the people who are playing, like every game in this entire 24-hour stream, I know at least one person who's playing who I would love to see feel vindicated. Give them money. Child's Play, they help children's hospitals and other medical facilities have games for kids. It's a good cause. I'm going to raid them now. Anyway, until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Oh, yeah, our raid message is, howdy, y'all, Joe Hills raid here. You can say that if you want, but, like, it'd be better if you, like, gave them money. Be right back. Tomorrow night. Not right back. Yeah, tomorrow night. I am really tired.
The half-drow barbarian witch streamer. She is here to rake in the likes and emotes and hit people with her big hammer.
Cool. Hello, all of the lovely raiders that we just got.
Hello,
cool.
raiders. Hello.
Joe and Joe pals.
Oh, wow.
I know, right?
Goodness gracious. Hello, everyone.
Following that up is Tyrannosaurus, aka Comet.
In the spotlight. Well, good time of day to wherever you are. I'm Tyrannosaurus of Twitch and Twitter, and I am so happy to be here. My first time playing in Mercy Road. And tonight I will be playing Comet, a gecko druid of the stars, who is a